Hello and welcome to JRock's Pop Culture Revolution. This is episode number 33, and we got a special guest today, Rolly Devore. Rolly is a lifelong dedicated musician, and we're going to be talking about that. In fact, the last time I interviewed you, Rolly, was about 10 years ago, and I came across that. I thought, I got to reach out to my old friend Rolly and see what he's doing. And lo and behold, you're now in this Gilligan's Island themed tribute band. And I just love that because, I mean, let's be honest, there's a half, how many Led Zeppelin tribute bands are there out there? Now,
Right.
so if you're going to have a tribute band, you should have a little kind of something like a little niche, if you know what I mean. And there is
So,
definitely no other Gilligan's tribute band, Island tribute band that I can think of. So let's talk about the band and how was this an existing project or something that you created?
it's something that got created. Actually, we have another imitator on the East Coast now.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
how the whole thing came about was was two different sort of things that sort of came together. My girlfriend and musical partner Leela, who's behind me, who plays Mrs. Howell in the band,
Oh, wow.
and I'm Gilligan. So in real life, Gilligan and Mrs. Howell are together. Spoiler alert. We were at breakfast in San Diego with a friend of ours named Michael Twombly, who is the CEO of Music Zirconia, which is one of the biggest tribute band
Yeah.
agencies in the country. And this is a few years ago. And Michael was telling us at breakfast, I don't have a yacht rock band yet. And we thought, okay, that's kind of interesting. And it just sort of, he just
Went
sort of
from
mentioned
there.
it. And a little bit later on, I believe that day, maybe driving home, Leela said, well, what if we did something sort of tropical? Well, just to backtrack a little bit. So if you do another yacht rock band, you know how everybody dresses like sailors? Well, it'd be
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
kind of like you said earlier, like another Zeppelin band, another yacht rock band. So we thought, or Leela actually came up with the idea, hey, what if we did something tropical? What about Gilligan's Island, the band? And I went, oh, that could work. So that was sort of the one idea. And then Leela and I, prior to COVID, were in a band with a friend of mine named Robbie Rist, who many people know as playing Cousin Oliver on the last
Oh, yes, yes. Brady
the Brady.
Bunch.
Yeah, so we were in a band with Robbie, and I've known him since I was 15 years old, and he's just an amazing musician, and it's just like a
Yeah.
walking encyclopedia of AM radio hits. And we were in a band called Cousin Oliver's Cavalcade of Hits.
Oh, wow.
And the keyboard player in the band has been a lifelong friend of Robbie's, this guy named Don Frankel, and he's an actor and kind of an older guy. But COVID sort of wiped the band out, and plus Robbie moved to Florida. But we loved working with Don. And so as we were thinking this Gilligan thing, we thought, hey, wait, Don, he's already older. He's got grayish kind of hair. He's an actor, plays keyboards, guitar, accordion, banjo. Maybe he could do that. And then our friend Desi Diamani, who is the daughter of Kenny Metcalf, who I've been in an Elton John
Elton, yeah. Yeah. Oh,
for
wow.
years, super talent, and she could pull off Marianne. So that's how it kind of started. And then we started just thinking through people, and it was almost kind of like you had to think like you were trying to cast a television show first and then the musicianship.
That's what I love about this because, again, I'm looking to have typically what I do on this show is I will pick said pop culture topic like one I have coming up this week on Thursday. I'll send you the link just so you can check it out.
Yeah,
Is talking about the 60th anniversary of original Star Trek series.
sure.
Okay. And so another thing we want to do with this show is also try to have guests come on and talk about different things. And this was when I came across the band, I thought this would be perfect. This is what I'm looking for. And what I love about your Gilligan's Island is
Yeah.
okay. First of all, you got all characters we all know and love, from again, all these years ago when we grew up on it. And I love the fact like you and Leia's picture in the background there.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, that's the little. We have a music duo called The Two.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, this is our logo, and so I was trying to think of a backdrop that kind of, you
Oh,
know,
okay. Because I was going to say what I love about the background there. Okay, you're saying okay, this is like Gilligan and Mrs. Hal. I'm
yeah.
like, okay, that's got to be the young version of Mrs. Hal.
Well, yeah. This is
But again, it's kind of another cool concept because it's
Thank you.
taking the Gilligan Island thing, but you're putting your own kind of spin on it, and I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's my busiest band at the moment,
I
and
can see why.
Well, thank you. And pretty much from the first show we did, yeah, it's just some amazing things that happen. Our first gig was at the Foundation Room at House of Blues Anaheim.
Wow.
And there was a gentleman there named Steven Anderson, who we found out later on books like one of the biggest 80s festivals in the world, an event called the Sands Rocks in Cancun, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And he was looking for, or actually, I think he was at House of Blues to see a band called The Reflex, who plays the event here. And he just, he just came upstairs and just happened to see us. And dude, we're going back to play this event for the third year in a row. And the first year, it was like Rick Springfield, the English Beat, the Fix, like all these 80s MTV bands, MTV VJs. And since Gilligan's Island's pretty much been in syndication since it was on in the 60s.
1960, yeah.
We all know it growing up because it was on Channel 5 or whatever, So
and even kids from today, they catch it in reruns, oh, what's this? Or from their mom and dad watched. But, and what's cool about a band like this, Raleigh, is you're not limited. Like I could see like if, like in your Cheap Trick tribute that you were doing, I could see that, necessarily maybe you wouldn't, play with a hardcore metal band. You're somewhat limited with who you can play with, but this widens that open, opens the door.
We kind of think of it as a theme band. And so we've incorporated some of the yacht rock stuff, but some of it's a little bit sleepy. So we've sort of pitched it now as beachy hits and yacht rock. And so try to, for the most part, get any songs, could be through the 90s to today.
I could even see like kind of like I don't know if you agree, like kind of like a Jimmy Buffett type of thing, like beach type of music, summer fun.
Yeah, pretty much anything. Everything from Rockaway Beach by the Ramones to Soak Up the Sun by Sheryl Crow.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah. Beach Boys, anything so that lyrically kind of goes with the television show.
Yeah.
As soon as we start playing live, people kind of get it. And what's been fun too, you mentioned younger people that haven't seen the show. What's been cool is that sometimes we'll have parents that will have brought their kids.
Yeah.
And the kid doesn't necessarily know the show, but they get so enthused by seeing the band that, we're going to take little Jimmy or whoever and go binge watch Gilligan's Island.
Raleigh, I could really see you taking this band different types of places. For example, you hear about all these like pop culture conventions they have. I could see you, maybe getting asked to appear at one of those, or you just never know. Like Kiss with the Kiss conventions, and that all started from the Kiss fans initially, and then Kiss started doing it themselves. But that's how a lot of the stuff gets started. And now, I know that for most of your musical career as a musician, you're known primarily as a drummer. In fact, you mentioned playing with Kenny Metcalf and his great Elton tribute. I seen you guys, I lost track, but a number of years ago when you played the Orange County Fair. I think you typically play there every year, but anybody gets a chance to see, are you still playing with Kenny?
Yeah, in fact, we're playing the Pacific Amphitheater this year as part of the OC Fair.
That's a great. I seen... In fact, I think it was 2 summers ago, Alice Cooper, of all people, performed there, and it was a magical night I'll never forget.
It's been a bucket list place for me to play, so I'm super excited.
And so my question was, you're known primarily as a drummer. So how old were you when you first, got into playing the drums, and what was it about the drums that was your instrument of choice, if you will?
I kind of knew I wanted to be in a rock band, but I wasn't sure what I was going to play. And interestingly, Elton John kind of ties into it because I went to see him in the Tommy rock opera movie that the Who did back in '75.
Of course, yeah.
And I saw Keith Moon playing drums, and I was like, somehow I want that job.
Yeah.
And being in tribute bands is the closest I can get to it. I mean, because I'm in a Who tribute band and an Elton John tribute band. And in fact, when my Who tribute band, the Who Generation, was on the World's Greatest Tribute Bands on Access TV, we had Kenny come out as the pinball wizard in the giant shoes like Elton did in the movie.
Wow, yeah.
Recreated the whole thing. So I'm very much still that 11-year-old kid that was at the movie theater somehow trying to, be that person, and as close as I can get to it.
And people, certain number of people, like out there laugh at the thought of tribute bands. I'm a big fan, though. I've seen many throughout my life, and what I love about it is, and I think you can kind of relate to this because you're also an actor. To me, the really great tribute bands out there, especially the ones that get dressed up like you guys and try to actually look the part, not
Yeah,
just play the songs. To
right.
me, it's great rock and roll theater.
Big time. That's exactly what it is. It's musical theater. Yeah. And I sort of differentiate the tribute bands for the cover bands based on how you're dressed.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not like the original bands. So yeah, I would have, dude, I would have never thought at my age for about the last 15 years, I would be as busy as I am doing music.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
and you're a super talented guy, not just on the behind the
oh,
drum kit, but I say
oh,
that too because I follow your career over here, as you
oh,
know, and it takes a certain kind of person to not just be comfortable and sitting behind the drum kit, but
yeah.
I don't know if you're still doing the Cheap Trick tribute, but you had one for a number of years where you actually I believe you were a frontman. You were playing guitar and singing. You were doing the Robin Zander thing, which is different
Oh,
from what you normally do.
dude, it's a chat. I wish I could sing as amazing as Robin Zander. I love all
Yeah.
that stuff. And in fact, our duo, the two, I'm playing guitar, and I'm keeping time with electric foot percussion with my right foot, or I'm playing this stand-up drum set. So
Oh.
I kind of don't consider myself a guitarist per se. I can accompany
You
myself. I
can
can
do it.
play.
You can do it. But that's what I'm saying. And even if you're not like you're not the next Eddie Van Halen. Again,
No,
this is rock and roll theater, and you're convincing enough. That's what matters.
thank you, thank
You
you.
can
And then,
pull it off.
yeah, I love Cheap Trick. Well, my favorite bands are Kiss, Cheap Trick, and The Who, and I've been in tributes, to all of them. So again, it's the closest I can get
And
to,
to me, that shows your ability as a musician because typically when you're a musician playing a band, I'm not. I'm just a fan of the music. I go and see the bands play live, but so that's why I respect what you do. But you know,
Thank,
I mean, most time like drummers, the thing with most drummers are you're like in the back of the stage, and
yeah.
it's kind of interesting. Guys like Steven Tyler and Janie Lane, they started out as drummers.
Oh, I didn't know Janie Lane was. I knew Steven Tyler. I didn't know what Janie Lane was.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I was reading up on it, but years before he became famous, he started out on the drums.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so I
I
think,
actually feel a little more comfortable with at least a guitar in front of me. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
being out there with nothing, I'd feel a little bit like, whoa, I'm much more comfortable behind
yeah.
the
And so
drum.
a lot of times, like I said, the drummer is typically the guy behind the stage, and so doing what you've done, you've kind of seen both perspectives, and then just think of going from being typically known as a drummer
Yeah,
in the Cheap Trick tribute, you're the front man. All eyes
yeah,
are really on you.
it is. It's a little, yeah, it's a little unnerving, but fun.
Yeah,
Great, great.
yeah.
Yeah, and
That's got to make it fun too because it's out of kind of your wheelhouse, if you will, your normal wheelhouse.
definitely try to challenge myself. And that one, yeah, that one is challenging. Oh my gosh, yeah, that guy. I wish I could. Again, Robin Sanders just
And
amazing.
the cool getting back to the Gilligan's Island thing because that's the main thing we're going to talk about today is
Yeah,
the cool thing about the outfits. I mean, that's what I used to kind of laugh at when I used to watch the show as a kid. Okay, I know I understand they landed on this deserted island, but you mean to tell me they didn't have any other clothes? And then Gilligan and the skipper. Well, I of course read about it, and the producer and creator Sherwood Schwartz was saying, well, it was cheaper. We didn't have to spend a lot of money on outfits, so we just did it that way. But as a band, and you could kind of see that, but as a band, you're getting dressed up as Gilligan, pretty simple. You don't have to spend a lot of money on costumes there, Raleigh.
yeah. I don't have to think a lot about it, but I'll tell you, half of the fun for Leela, who plays Mrs. Howell, Desi, who's Marianne, and we currently have two gingers, Alexis and Carissa. Half the fun for the ladies is shopping for wardrobe for the band.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go and look at our Instagram page, Facebook page, Gilligan's Island, the band, you'll see that their outfits change quite a bit, like the ladies did on the TV show. Like, did they really bring this much,
Yeah, yeah,
wardrobe
yeah,
for a
yeah,
3-hour tour?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
but half the fun is the girls shopping for clothes in this thing.
yeah, yeah. And now, as far as do you sing in the band too, or you just play the drums?
Yeah, I'm one of the lead singers. Yeah, we kind of split it between myself and Ginger and Marianne, and currently the skipper is singing one song, but we're going to be adding to his repertoire as well. Yeah, so we split it up. So it's interesting. It's not just
See, that's what I used to love about Kiss. As a Kiss fan, like you had more than one lead singer in the band. So
yes, yeah, it kind of changes it up a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, and then one guy's voice isn't getting sore, all night.
yeah,
um,
exactly.
yeah,
But
and so,
you mentioned Sherwood Schwartz. I do have an interesting story about him. If you're
I'd
interested
love
to
to
hear.
hear it. Yeah.
Okay, so my Who tribute band, the Who Generation, was on one of these rock themed cruises that we do out of Florida. 60s flower power cruise, 70s rock and romance cruise. When we found out we were doing the 70s cruise, we also found out that a musician named Lawrence Juber was going to be on the ship, and Lawrence was Paul McCartney and Wing's guitar player in the 70s. Lawrence happens to be married to Hope Schwartz Juber, who's the daughter of Sherwood Schwartz, the creator of Gilligan's Island and
Oh
Rainbow.
wow. Yeah, I didn't know he had a
So
daughter,
we,
and you had a couple sons that he worked with.
so, so we found out, and we thought, well, will we be able to talk to Lawrence? Is Hope going to be there? Maybe we could tell him about the Gilligan's Island, blah, blah, blah. So we were on board the ship. The Who Generation had finished playing. Leela and I were at dinner we're at this place where they have it sort of cordoned off for the bands to eat. Dude, the maitre d' sets Lawrence and Hope right next to us.
Wow.
And we're like, no,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my God. So they had seen the Who Generation. They liked the band, which sort of vetted us a little bit. And we started talking, and I mentioned to Hope, hey, we were in a band with Robbie Rist, Cousin Oliver. Oh, of course I know Robbie, and we're name dropping, da, da, da. And so finally I said, so you guys, we have this other band that we just need to tell you about. And I think I might have had a business card on my phone or something. And I showed them Gilligan's Island, the band. They're like, oh yes, we know who you are. And I'm like, no. Are they going to throw plates at us? Because we really didn't know. So they had heard about the band. Long story short, we spent about 4 hours talking to them. They were sweet as could be. They invited us back to their room, showed us all these videos and stuff like that. But they told us a few interesting things. So Hope and Lawrence, and Hope is a fantastic musician, singer also. They have a Gilligan's Island musical, and they were a little bit concerned with people getting their musical confused with the band. And so we let them know, hey, we're just a cover band, just so you know, we love the show. And they also mentioned to us that there's some things that we can't do in the band. Like if we do like bits, if we're reenacting bits from the show, we can't legally do that because it sort of crosses the line into musical theater.
Yeah.
But besides that, they were flattered that how it ended up as Lawrence talked about maybe the band doing one of their songs that they did in the musical. And then Hope said, hey, maybe I can come join you on stage sometime. So, dude, think about this. What are the odds?
Yeah.
All places in the world, we just happen to be sitting next to the creator's, daughter on the ship, and we just happen to connect with them.
And I'm curious. I'm kind of curious to know if they knew ahead of time that there was a Gilligan's Island band. If they found.
They did. Yeah, they had seen us online and were aware of us.
Yeah. They probably like, okay, we got to go check this out. What's going on here? But and as they say, flattery is the greatest form of I guess inspiration, however you want to put it. I mean, the fact that you're the first one that started such a band, and there's already somebody else, I think you said in Florida, doing it. I mean, yeah, great ideas, right?
Yeah, well, I think Leela back here because she's the one that started it. But then it's it takes the whole team to put it together. Just happened to have been surrounded with all these amazing people dressed up.
And Rolly, I'm pretty based on what you just kind of said. I'm willing to bet. Are you able to do like the Gilligan's Island theme song, perform that, or no?
You know what, dude? Right now we have it playing as we're walking on stage.
Yeah.
And then when it says Gilligan, I throw my hand up the skip or two, and so right when it ends, then we kick into the first song. Yeah.
And I know I'm getting really way ahead, but the other thing I don't know if you ever thought about that you could do with this because you're working with these characters and paying tribute to Gilligan's Island is, you could, there's a chance that you could go in and create your own original music, kind of like our music, paying tribute, to Gilligan's Island, our own original
Yeah, I
thing.
suppose so.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely could.
And
Yeah,
so when most people, because again, when I was just kind of searching online for stuff, I came across your Facebook page the other day for Gilligan's Island. I'm like, what's this? Okay, and then Rolly Devore, I remember him, and so you get kind of that reaction when people first come to the show, probably not really knowing what to expect, and then like, wow, this
you
is
know what?
something.
You know what's funny, dude? If you want to get some chuckles, if you go to our YouTube for our first video, we did kind of an MTV music video. To see people's reactions, they ended up loving it, but at first they're like, "What did I just watch?
Yeah,
What is? How is this?" And then it kind of soaks in. They go, "Oh, this is brilliant.
yeah.
We
It's
love
kind
it."
of like seeing Kiss or Alice Cooper for the very first. What is this? I've never
Yes,
been like this.
that's just the reaction I want. Like people,
Yeah,
what the world's going on,
yeah,
and then
yeah. Wow.
yeah, love
Um,
that reaction.
and so, how often do you guys like? Do you just play special events or special shows, or do you go out and play some of the clubs too as well?
Yeah, anywhere that'll pay us, Jason. Pretty much.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got some concerts in the park coming up this summer. Yeah, we've got
Have you been
doing.
outside of California, or is it pretty much a California
Yeah,
thing?
we just got back from. We've done a couple. We just did a big show in Tucson, Arizona, a big sort of charity benefit, and we did
Wow.
a mini tour of kind of the Phoenix area just a few
Uh,
months ago. So, and we've been to Mexico. So I guess technically, I mean, even though it's just one out of the U.S. gig, we're an international act, I suppose.
and
Yeah,
Jim, paying tribute as you do in this band to Gilligan.
yeah,
There's Cher, there's Sunny, and then there's Gilligan. But
you know,
one name guys. But
yeah,
I bring it up because again, it's not exactly like playing the role of Robin Zander in a Cheap Trick tribute.
yeah.
It's never really been done before. So is this kind of your version of the original Gilligan? Kind of maybe this is a modern day Gilligan, what he would look like.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I throw on the hat and the wig, and yeah, it's definitely the modern day version. But again, we're sort of inhibited a little bit by the fact that we can pretty much only sing songs on stage. We can banter a little bit,
Yeah.
but again, as far as reenacting the show, that
I
that's
think
all.
even with the backdrop there is really great because I
Oh,
tell
thank you.
you, I mean, it looks enough like Gilligan. I mean, I love the fact that okay, because like Gilligan and Mrs. Howell, okay, that would be kind of rocking the boat if you know what I mean, but or rocking the cradle. But I love the idea that hey, this is what Mrs. Howell in her younger days.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, again, this is our logo for the two. So we
Oh,
actually have, yeah, we're both veterans of, 80s bands, tribute bands. So between the two of us, we probably have more wigs than Lady Gaga.
yeah, and so how it's fun that you're doing a project like this, but how big of a Gilligan fan were you growing up?
You know, um, I would watch it, just if it happened to be on. I
Yeah.
wasn't a huge fan. I actually didn't really start deep diving into it until Leela came up with the idea for the band. And what's funny, Jason, is the shows, they still stand up. They're still hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, and what I love about Rolly, the reason I asked that is I was thinking, okay, um, like I know a guy who played in a Kiss tribute band, and he wasn't really a major Kiss fan like me or anything. He was like, I got to Kiss after I started playing the songs.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. But I love the fact that you were a Gilligan fan, but like not a diehard, but you came up with this great concept for this band, and you're probably getting more into it now because you're playing the role, if you will.
Very much so. Yeah. We
Yeah.
have a logo. In fact, there's a great company. This friend of mine, Nicole, has a company called Day Camp Creative with K, and they did this great logo for us. And she also did the one behind us.
Wow, that's
So
beautiful. I
yeah,
love. Yeah.
we've got the logo with the boat on stage. We
Yeah.
actually have a copy of the SS Minnow on stage that
Wow,
Skipper
that's cool.
stands behind, and then the keyboard is.
So you're not kind of ripping it off or anything. You could always have something like the rock and roll minnow or something
Yeah,
like that. You know,
there's a little
yeah,
bit,
yeah.
yeah. There's some yeah.
A
We're taking.
little bit of originality there. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have you back on, Robbie, because we really, or excuse me, Raleigh, we just really touched the surface of telling your story, but we want to really kind of get the word out about the Gilligan's Island Band. Now, before I let you go, I'd
Yes,
like to
sir.
have you share with the folks that you were sharing with me, and because I followed you, and so I knew this. That's why I was asking you earlier this morning. Hey, you're an
Yeah.
actor, right? Um, why do you let people know that you spent 25 years on a TV show that a lot of people know about working on there?
Oh well, I'm not an aspiring actor. Yeah, I've had little cameos in movies and TV, and it's never something I pursued. But I grew up in Hollywood. My sister was a childhood actor. My sister Heather Hawes. In fact, she used to do a ton of commercials. She played Corey Feldman's girlfriend in the Tom Hanks movie The Burbs.
Oh, wow.
Um, I'm in. I'm also in a early Tom Hanks movie called Bachelor Party, where
Oh, okay. Wow, wow.
one of the guys opens the doors and there's this prom couples, and I'm in this tuxedo.
Okay.
I have a cameo in the movie Blades of Glory when Will Ferrell and John Heater, who played Napoleon Dynamite, when they come out to do their first skating routine and they crash. They keep
Okay.
cutting to this photographer,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's me.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Um,
I guess what I was asking is,
oh,
didn't you
you're talking
work?
about Curb Your
Yeah,
Enthusiasm.
yeah. Didn't you work on Curb Your Enthusiasm? I was just kind of curious
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. I've been again. I've just I've always done extra work and just for fun. But about 20 years ago, I got called, to stand in on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and just got along great with Larry David and Jeff Garlin. And so they kept me for the entire run of the show, and Larry's new show on HBO that's coming out that's called Life, Larry and the Pursuit of Unhappiness. I
I
worked
love,
on
I
that.
love that. And so, is acting and working on, TV like that, is that something you just kind of fell into, or did you always have an interest?
I was always around it, so I just kind of fell into it to make extra money, and
That's
just
cool.
one of the Larry David thing. Definitely one of the coolest things that ever happened to me. We had about a 5 year hiatus where we weren't sure if Larry was going to do Curb again. And during the time, he wrote and starred in a movie for HBO that filmed on the East Coast called Clear History, starring him, John Hamm, Kate Hudson, and Larry in the movie plays a guy named Nathan. And then 10 minutes into the movie, Nathan changes his name to Rolly Devore, named the character in the movie after me.
Wow. Wow. What an honor,
So
huh?
definitely one of the coolest things that's ever
That
happened to me.
that let you know that he's a fan of you, I guess, or he likes working with you. That's great. Now,
Great.
final question for tonight.
Yes, sir.
These movies you appeared like Tom Hanks movie, The Bachelor, I think you said it was. You ever have any of your friends like watch these movies years later? Hey, wait a minute, that's you.
Dude, it's a bit like being Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
You remember, because he would make these random appearances on television every
yeah,
once in a while. And so, yeah, every couple months or so, I'll get somebody, hey, I was watching the movie The Holiday with Jack
yeah,
Black,
yeah, yeah.
and I just saw you in it. I'm like, yeah, that was me standing in the background.
Yeah, yes,
So,
that's cool.
uh,
You're like you come up like during Trivia Pursuit, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Leaving little pieces of myself out there.
That's
Yeah.
kind of like, yeah, I remember like Forrest Gump when he was talking about John F. Kennedy getting assassinated. He goes, I met that nice president. A few months later, he got shot and killed.
Dude, if you want to hear something crazy, I actually did get to meet. So the Larry's new show on HBO, Barack Obama was the executive producer, and I did get to meet him.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So I'm really living the Forrest Gump thing, in
Well,
real life.
there you go. And,
Yeah.
you've got that talent and music and everything. And that's
Oh,
why
thank
I think, and even what you're doing now, like I said, it's rock and roll theater. So it all goes hand in hand.
Oh, thanks, brother. Well, I appreciate you, and thanks for letting me be on your new channel here, man. This is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
Well, I'll definitely have to have you back on, Raleigh. It's been too long, but I'm gonna do when you guys play show in LA. I'm gonna come out and see it because I got to see it at least one time.
Dude, love to see you. Love to have you there, man.
Okay, take care, my friend. Thanks for doing this. It was great
You
talking to
too,
you.
man. Thanks for
Okay, bye
talking to me.
bye.
See you soon. Okay, bye bye.
Okay, let's